Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, are there? Sitting there playing them things tonight. You heard a lot of old songs, and that was good. But tonight, let's do a little learning, a little differently. I know we've been learning Revelation, but did anybody in the church know that Genesis? A lot of people call Genesis a seed-pod book. You ever heard that?
No.
There's a lot of people that look at Genesis and the seed-pod book. See if I can get it right. It says all the other books in the Bible, they seem to spring from it. It's like the seed, and it starts in Genesis. And Genesis means the birth or beginning. Now, I want to tell you, we're going to go through the Old Testament a little bit, and I'm going to tell you about each book, and I hope you get something out of it, because that's how I learned. I went through the Bible, and I learned little things in the Bible, and like Genesis, like I say, it means birth or beginning, and Exodus, did y'all know that Exodus, the meaning of Exodus means going out? Did anybody know that?
No.
Did anybody know that? Exodus means going out. That's what that means. That's like you take Leviticus. Now you can go through starting Genesis. We're going to start Genesis, and then we'll go to Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. We're going to go through each book a little bit, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. Now Exodus means it's going out, referring to the going out from Egypt of the children of Israel. So the meaning of Exodus is going out. And there, did you know there's some great stories? Now women in here, how many women in here love a good old love story book? Anybody? Nobody loves to read a good old love story book? Did you know that there are two places, there are two different books in the Old Testament that have love stories in them? A lot of people don't know that, but there are two books in the Bible that is love stories.
Really?
Yeah. Sure. We'll get to that. We're going to get to that. I want to get y'all a little bit excited because, let me tell y'all something about the Old Testament. A lot of folks, they say, well, I don't get into the Old Testament because it has nothing for me. But tonight I want you to know that the Old Testament has everything for you. It's so important because what you'll learn tonight, and you'll learn when you get in the Old Testament, is that it tells you who God is. Okay? The Old Testament tells you, like, you'll find in the Old Testament, you'll find grace and you'll find mercy. And God did a lot of mercy, I'm telling you, and He bestowed a lot of grace. Okay, now, Leviticus. We're going to get Leviticus now. And Leviticus and Levites are derived from Levi. The name of one of the sons of Jacob is where Leviticus comes from. Now the book of Numbers takes its name from two numberings of the children of Israel. Now the Numbers is a pretty cool book. You can look in Numbers and it'll tell you about, the Bible. You've heard people talk about how they wandered in the wilderness for 40 years. Okay, and you get into Numbers, Numbers will tell you everything that happened and what the people went through and how they were so disobedient to God, and and they didn't get to pass through. And Numbers is an awesome book if you get into all Numbers. It really is. If you get into Numbers and read it, you'll be amazed. And you can look in the New Testament and it talks about the days of Numbers, and even in the New Testament. I'm used to preaching. It's been 15 years since I've got up and taught anything. Now I could preach all this, if God just tell me to get it, I'm gonna get it. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Now Deuteronomy means second law. Does anybody know that? Deuteronomy means second law. Give you time to write that. Rich, you better be fast in that book tonight. So we're going to get it. We're going to get it. I'm telling you right now, we're going to get it. Deuteronomy means second law. It means the second giving of the law. And that's another good book to read. But I encourage everybody to read. There's two books so far that I really encourage you to read. And number one is Genesis. Because you take Genesis, it has the creation of how the world began. You got it in there about Adam and Eve. And a lot of people look at Adam and Eve, and most preachers, and Tim can probably contest to this, most preachers in most churches preach mostly Adam and Eve. They don't preach a lot of other things. They're like the Tower of Babel. It talks about the lives of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph. There's some really good, the flood, and the people that were before the flood. And Genesis is a really good part to read. And I mean, if you can get it, and some things you may understand, You know, that's why you have a dictionary. You can look up a word and you can find out what that word means. You say, well, I need to call my preacher. Well, sometimes you can, and I'll try to explain it once. But I have to get in the Bible from me so I know. I mean, just to be on the job site and be able to tell you stuff, I have to read it to understand it when I'm doing it. But if you can get time to read Genesis, it's awesome. It really is. There's so much information in there. And I do encourage you to read Numbers because they talk about Numbers, a lot about people in the Numbers in the New Testament. How they wandered in the wilderness for 40 years and what they did. And there's so much. He gives in fine detail in Numbers of what they did. And you'll find that the people always disobeyed God and they wanted to sin other than serve God. You know what I mean? And that's where we're at now. A lot of people want to sin and they don't want to serve God, but they want God whenever they need God, but not when they don't need God. They don't want to praise Him when they're on top of the mountaintop, but when they're in the valley, boy, they're crying out to Him all the time. And that's where they were in Numbers. And you've got to look at it. It's really good. You think where you want to go? Joshua, the book of Joshua. The book of Joshua was named after one of the two spies who later became Moses' successor. Joshua led the Israelites across the Jordan, attacked and conquered the Canaanites. Am I saying it right? Canaanites? Canaanites. And divided up the land among two followers. Now Joshua played a very big role, and when Moses died, Joshua took the people where they needed to go to the promised land. Judges. Now Judges carries on the history of Israel from the death of Joshua to the time of Samuel. And when you get in the Old Testament, you'll read a lot on Samuel. Seems like he's in there quite a bit. And, you know, you can learn so much from Judges as well, but there's Ruth. Here comes the book of love. Here's one of the books of love, is Ruth. Ruth is a love story from the time of Judges. But you know what? Ruth plays a bigger role. A lot of people don't know this, but Ruth, the book of Ruth, also plays with Jesus. It was important for Ruth and Naomi to happen like they did because it became one of the lineages of Jesus Christ. And a lot of people don't know that, but you know, we learned that in our Sunday school classes and that. Huh? Well, now Ruth is also the great grandmother of David. A lot of people don't know that. But you know, David is out of the lineage of Jesus Christ, and you know, it had to happen. And when you read Ruth, you will learn that God has a purpose for everybody in His church your life. You say, how can I get that out of Ruth? Because Ruth was married to Naomi's son, and they never had a child. Never had a child. And her son died, and Ruth's husband died, and she leaves where she was at, and she goes to somewhere else, and she marries another man. I'm not going to tell you who it is. I'll let you figure that out. But she marries another man, which is so important, it began the lineage of Jesus Christ. Began with Miss Ruth. You see, it's so important that you can learn that. See, Ruth, you know, you figure you're married to a man and you don't have no children, and all of a sudden you get with somebody else and have a child. It was so important, and it let me know that our lives, God has a plan for our lives. Sometimes in a relationship it don't work. But God has planned for somebody else because there's something else good that's going to come out of that in that next relationship. I'm going to go on and leave that alone. 1st and 2nd Samuel. Am I going too fast?
Nah.
Am I boring anybody? You tell me if I'm boring, I just preach. I can preach better than I can do all this. 1st and 2nd Samuel. These two books are one unit in the Hebrew Bible. See, we got them divided in 1st and 2nd Samuel, but in Hebrew, they're one. They're just one whole section. They relate in detail in the closing days of the theocracy, I can't say that, in which God ruled directly through the judges. You see, we go back to the judges. See, we just put that judges. You know, so 1st and 2nd Samuel goes back to Judges, which is the beginning and goes to the Samuel. 1st and 2nd Kings, these two books are also in the book of Hebrew one. They're not two. Did y'all know that? I'm sure y'all did. Y'all studied pretty hard. But we got it divided into two, but in the Hebrew Bible, they're one. You know, you don't have a 1st and 2nd Kings, you just have Kings, and then you also just have Samuel. You don't have 1st and 2nd Samuel, you just have Samuel. Has anybody learned anything in here? Tell me.
Not really, but.
Not really.
Yes, a lot.
Hey, let me honest, yeah.
Why did they split them up then?
That's, can y'all answer that?
That's the way
It has a lot to do with the canonization of the books.
when the church at the time decided to canonize what should be put in the Bible, what shouldn't be put in the Bible. They left some things out and they split some things up. Like 1st, 2nd Chronicles, 1st, 2nd Samuel, and 1st and 2nd Kings. Have you ever heard of the Apocrypha?
The Apocrypha.
Apocrypha, that's books that were written, but for some reason or another, the church, when we say the church at Rome.
Yeah, what it was at Nicaea. That's whenever they canonized this. And here's the thing, Catholic Bible has the lost books in there. You have Medra, 1st and 2nd Medra, the Book of Jasper, and there's 14 in the Catholic Bible.
Maybe
The Book of Enoch.
Yeah, the
But
Book of
anyway,
Enoch.
it's man. They decided that what would be canonized and what shouldn't be.
I heard.
Yeah.
I heard that the reason they took some books out when it was canonized is because some of the books didn't have any historical significance and they couldn't back it up historically. They left the books that could be backed up historically in there, aside from Revelations, which hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
That is a true statement.
Yeah, but like with the Book of Enoch, you got Jude that plainly
But
comes straight from the Book of
The
Enoch.
reason they couldn't put them in there because of that.
Yeah.
It's man.
Right, but I
Now
also
here's
read
one
what
thing.
was
You
called-
can't.
Go ahead, Alan.
The 1611 King James has all 80 books.
Yeah, 80 books.
The original 1611.
King James
You have a
has
lot of
80 books.
pastors out here. They'll sit there and go King James Bible, King James Bible. But what they don't realize is
They
the
are
original
references
1611
In
is
the
all 80
16th,
books.
or the King James that we use now, to the books that are not in the Bible. There are several references made. For once, Jude, the book of Jude, the little book of Jude in the New Testament, has a reference to the book of Enoch, which is not in the Bible.
Okay, the way I was raised, man, if you took away from the Word of God, and this is the last part of Revelation, God said He's going to add to you the curses of the Bible, and if you add to, you're going to get it. So if they left the books out, then we're not being taught the way we should be with the right Bible.
Well, that's why one of the reasons why I refer to in my study sometimes to those books. Although you probably don't ever hear me quote them, those scriptures when I'm behind the pulpit, because you have nothing in front of you to support what I'm telling you.
So do we need to go find the 1611 and
Well,
swap out?
You couldn't understand if you went and actually got a 1611. You would not be able to understand it. It's the language that they used in 1611. Even though it was English, it's not like the English that we speak today.
Yeah, but the D's and the vowels are easy to understand.
They'd come out and they'd ring their bell and they'd go, "Hear ye, oh hear ye," and that's where a lot of the words in the New Testament now are sometimes are hard to understand. When they could simplify it with what other words instead of therefore, whereunto, thereas. Sometimes people don't understand those words. But I'm with you. Why did these group of men decide that this shouldn't be put in the Bible? But here's where I stand. If God expects me to live by His Word, then I trust Him that the one that I have is what He wants me to have. Does that make any sense to you? And any references in the Bible that we use now that refers you to the Apocrypha, there's supposedly a book that Thomas wrote, a Gospel of Thomas. Then there are books that were written between the 400 years of silence between the Old Testament and the New Testament.
That's Maccabees.
That's 1st and 2nd Maccabees. And that's all history, but it's about the Maccabean revolt that took place. But anyway,
You can get the Maccabee, I think, and understand this.
you can
Yeah.
find all these on the
If you
internet.
if you go on the internet, type in lost books of the Bible,
Yeah,
they'll come up.
and you can read it.
Now, 1st and 2nd Chronicles. Now, these two books, the Chronicles, duplicate to a large extent the books of Samuel and Kings. How do you say it? Ezra? E-Z-R-A? I know it can't.
Ezra.
The book of Ezra gives an account of the return of some of the Jewish exiles from captivity in Babylon and rebuilding of the ruined temple. It says here, the rebuilding of the house of worship. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to rebuild the house of worship. We want people here to praise the Lord, and that's what God wants us to praise Him. But I want you to learn that when you get into the Old Testament, I can't say this enough, when you read the Old Testament, you'll find out who God really is. God's a loving God. He loves us more than anybody else. But God is also a jealous God. And when you read the Old Testament, you'll find out that God, truly God don't play. A lot of people like to take God and say, well, he's this, but He ain't. God is love, but God says, you're mine. It's sort of like your wife. You'll kill somebody mess with your wife, right? And see, God is the same way. God loves you so much, but God is jealous. So when you start serving the devil and you turn to the devil, you got troubles. You truly have troubles. And you'll find in the Old Testament where God, this is who we serve in the Old Testament, God. Now He sent Jesus, and I'm going to tell y'all, Jesus had a purpose. Jesus came to do away with the laws. Now everybody's like, oh, we have no more law, but that's not true. He became the great sacrifice, the Lamb, right? Now when He became the Lamb, He done away with the laws of Moses. Moses had 560 some.
613.
613.
A lot of the laws of Moses, a lot of them were symbolic in nature because man cannot understand, the nature of God. So they put in these laws so that way that there's these symbolic laws so people can more easily understand God. But when Jesus came, not only educated the people, but He fulfilled a lot of the symbolism and replaced it with substance.
That's right.
So we don't need a lot of those laws.
See, we don't got to kill an animal and take the blood once a year and put on our door. We don't have to do that. And a lot of folks think He done away with the 10 Commandments, but to be quite honest with y'all, the 10 Commandments revolve around one word. It's called love. Love. I mean, thou shalt not kill. When you love, you don't kill somebody. When you love, you don't go out and commit adultery with a neighbor's wife. You don't go out here and lie and steal. And you don't do these things. I mean, it all revolves around one word in love. And the Bible said that God is love.
Yeah, that when it says thou shalt not kill, it's actually saying thou shalt not murder. That's the actual Hebrew for it. If we're attacked, like with these wars and stuff, and we have to defend our country, and we have to kill people, that's not murder. We're protecting ourselves. Because if you'll notice in the Old Testament and in the New Testament, that they had to go out and kill, like with Abraham's army and stuff. God blessed them. And they went out and they killed women and children and the animals because they were corrupt. And God said, do not take a spoil of any of it, not even the riches. You'll be cursed.
Now, we're going to go to Nehemiah. The Nehemiah largely biographical in nature. The book of Nehemiah is the last historical book of the Old Testament. Nehemiah is. Esther. This book records the deliverance of the Jews. Now here's what I like. Job. Job is thought by many to be one of the oldest pieces. Y'all get this. The oldest pieces of literature in existence.
Right.
Is Job. We know the story of Job. All he went through, but according to their deal, that it is the oldest literature in existence that you can get. It's weird, ain't it, how it comes out like that. But that's you look at Job, and Job struggled in his life. And to be honest, I don't want to be Job. I wouldn't want none of Job's life, because Job lost his farm, He lost his children. He lost everything that he had. Plus, he got all these sores upon his body. Just so that God can prove to the devil that Job was his man.
Yeah, he got blessed 7 times. So.
Oh yeah, now he got truly blessed, don't get me wrong.
He had
But you know what, they
7
don't
times
tell
more
you,
kids,
it don't
7
tell you
times more.
how long that lasted though. You know what I mean?
Right.
It ain't like it lasted for a week. It probably went on for years. You know, this ain't was a overnight, a week or 2 weeks or a month. This went on for a long time.
And then he got blessed twofold afterwards. You know, he was talking to his friends or whatever, and then God came in and said, "You guys are wrong. Job was right in what he did. He's my faithful servant. I'm going to bless him twofold." And he did that, and then afterwards, I think it said Job lived an extra 140 years as a blessed man.
See, I'm gonna live 150, so I'm not doing 100.
Not me.
Hey, that's my goal, okay? I mean, that's my goal,
He's
150.
gonna take me home.
After the night, I ain't gonna make it until y'all gonna kill me. Psalms. Let's look at Psalms. Psalms is a great book.
Amen.
But you see, the book of Psalms was a hymn book of the Hebrews. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
The Psalms is nothing more than a hymn book, just like this right here. Psalms is this right here.
Yeah.
Did y'all know that?
That and prayers.
Psalms is a hymn book. A lot of people use it for comfort, and don't get me wrong, it's great. I have no problem with that, but I'm going to tell you, it is nothing more than a songbook. Did you know that? Hey, it's good to learn. I mean, I want you to learn through the Bible because, you know, the more you know about what you're reading, the better you are. You see what I'm saying? And the more you know, then you'll get more excited. And you'll get that hunger inside of you. And when you get that burning inside of you, you can't, let me tell you something, you can't stop it. Until God stops it, you get this fire inside of you, you want it. The more you know, the better you are. Proverbs. Proverbs is a short sentence conveying a moral truth in a conscious and pointed form. It is one of the most ancient forms, get this, of instruction. Get that. It is one of the most ancient forms of instructions.
Right.
Proverbs is awesome. I'm telling y'all, you get into Proverbs, you can get into something too, but I'm telling you that there is so much awesome in the Bible that people just don't realize it. It takes you years and years and years. I've been studying for 25 years, I think it is, and Tim by about 35, 40. He's been preaching 30, I know, 32 years. But I've been studying for a lot of years, and I learned a long time ago that, you know, start with the Old Testament and learn who God is. And I've learned that when you learn who God is, you'll learn to respect God. I mean, people say, and you got to fear God. Why do I fear God? Because God can take me out.
That's right.
God can take me out. But I want God to leave me here. Let me teach people what they need to know. Let me preach and see people get saved.
Yeah, there's 31 chapters in Proverbs. And if you read a chapter each day, you can get through the whole book in a month.
Right.
And what a lot of people will do is they'll start reading it right back over again. Because I guarantee you, each time you read something in the Bible, you're going to learn something different.
Uh-huh.
Now, I'm going to teach you something in this. How many of you ever been in the Bible and you read something that says vanity? You ever read that and it says vanity? You're like, what in the world? Now, Ecclesiastes is one. Ecclesiastes means preacher or speaker.
Vanity. The whole world is vanity.
The word vanity, which occurs many times in this book, means fleeting and impertinent. Y'all get that? impermanent. Impertinent? Is that right? Impertinent? Huh?
Now what does that mean? Empty.
Empty.
What's encouragement? That's a big word.
I'm fixing to tell you.
Okay.
When the author says all these things are vanity, he means they will pass away.
Yeah.
That's what he means.
Yeah.
When he says the vanity, he means they will pass away.
Mm-hmm.
When you read it, that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Okay?
In vain. That's
If you
what
remember that in your head,
yeah.
vanity, when it means all things will pass away.
Yeah, it's like you're doing.
Anybody still learning? How many's learning tonight? I don't know.
That's right. Yeah.
3, 4?
See?
Can we read the first chapter of Ecclesiastes real quick?
Yeah.
It's like
Sure.
one of my favorite chapters.
How many's in it? First 19.
There's 18 verses, not very long. We don't even have, just 1 through 11, that'll be good.
Go ahead and read it.
Vanity of vanities, says the preacher. Vanities of vanity. Or vanity of vanities. All is vanity. What does man gain by all the toil at which he toils under the sun? A generation goes and a generation comes, but the earth remains forever. The sun rises and the sun goes down and hastens to the place where it rises. The wind blows to the south and goes around to the north. Around and around goes the wind, and on its circuits the wind returns. All streams run to the sea, but the sea is not full. To the place where the streams flow, they flow again. All things are full of weariness, a man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. What has been is what will be, and what has been done is what will be done. And there is nothing new under the sun. Is there a thing of which it is said, see, this is new? It has been already in the ages before us. There is no remembrance of former things, nor will there be any remembrance of later things yet to be among those who come after. And then it goes on to talk about the vanity.
Now, Ecclesiastes, I like it too. I do preach out of Ecclesiastes sometimes. There's a time to be born and a time to die. There's a time to pluck up, time to plant. Ecclesiastes is another awesome book if you read it. Okay. Now, here comes your love song, your love story, okay? Song of Solomon. Song of Solomon. Let me tell you about this, a little bit about this. The story of Song of Solomon is a deep, and y'all gonna like this. I know some of you will really like these women. The story is of a deep, pure love between a man and a woman. Solomon writes of the beauty and the sacredness of such a devotion. The story symbolizes the great love of God for his people. Now we know that Solomon was in love with his woman, and he loved her, and he wrote some great things about her. And things that women want to hear. David, women want to hear this. So you might want to read it.
Pay attention.
David, women want to hear this.
I already got mine, so I got mine.
That's what they want to hear. I'm just saying there's more. You know, when you read Song of Solomon, he's really in love. I mean, you know, it's just it's all mushy and.
Why do you remember that?
I don't read it.
I like this.
Actually, the Song of Solomon is the love story is the man, Jesus Christ, and the church.
But it's also
bride.
a woman too. You know, he's in love, and it's great. You got to just read it. It ain't very long, I don't believe, but Song of Solomon, I've always been told, read that and you'll enjoy it. You know, basically women love it more than we do. Okay.
We'll have questions on Solomon and stuff.
Isaiah. Now, Isaiah is a pretty awesome book too, and I'll tell you why. A lot of people call Isaiah a Bible. It's the Bible in the Bible. Isaiah at the beginning, Isaiah at the end. It has 66 books, as well as the Bible has 66 books. Isaiah, as they say, is a Bible in the Bible. You can read Isaiah, and it's almost like reading the whole Bible, in a sense. You know what I mean? So it's another good one to read, but there's 66 books. If you read a chapter a day, you're talking 2 months, a little 2 months. That's just read a chapter a day. But, you know, when you get into it and you don't really understand what you're reading, trust me, y'all, get you a dictionary. Most people have a phone now. We got internet access. Look it up, and a lot of dictionaries don't understand, but if you get into a Bible dictionary on your phone, it will tell you what words mean, and you can decipher from that point on. What time is it, man? I need to go further. I need to quit.
18. Don't matter. Hey, BibleGateway.com.
BibleGateway.com.
Anything you need's on there.
What is it again? I'm sorry.
BibleGateway.com. It'll come up NIV, but you can fix that.
I'm going to just go a little bit further than a month, real quick. Jeremiah was a prophet he lived in a sad time in the history of the Hebrews. During this day of the people, a southern kingdom or Judea were carried by Nebuchadnezzar. And a lot of people have heard of Nebuchadnezzar, right? I mean, a lot of people have heard of him. He carried by Nebuchadnezzar to captivity to Babylon. And Jeremiah himself was left in Jerusalem. He wrote with authority of the certainty of the judgment of God upon the sinful people, as well as the greatness of his love. And again, we go back to where he talked about God judging you, but yet also God's great love. And, you know, tonight I want to tell everybody in this building right now, God loves every one of y'all.
Amen.
As a matter of fact, he loved you this much that he stretched his arms out and sent his only begotten Son, and he died on the cross for us.
That's right.
And you know what? The sad part is, a lot of people don't get it. You're going to die.
That's right.
Everybody here, I want to tell you, widows and their kids in here, you're going to die. You can't escape it.
Yeah, unless
You
he comes
cannot
get you.
escape it at all. I mean, there's never been no man to escape it.
Well, Elijah.
Well, also,
Enoch.
there was another one too.
Enoch,
No, Enoch too.
And Elijah.
Enoch, Elijah.
that's the only two.
No. Not true. Melchizedek.
Melchizedek,
Melchizedek was
that's an actual, it's the high priest.
The
We
Bible
can get into
said
that
no
later.
beginning of days, no end, no
Yeah.
mother, father. But Abraham paid his tithes to Melchizedek.
Some people have actually believed that that's Christ,
Yeah, that's a Christ then.
Yeah.
But he was
because
still,
in the Old Testament it always says the angel of the Lord, and pretty much every time you read that, that's actually Christ.
no. But I mean, there's a lot to the Bible that you can learn. But I want to tell you, there ain't nobody in this building, me or anybody, Tim, Alan, Rich, none of you, you're going to escape death.
That's right.
Yeah, unless he comes takes us home.
But this old body ain't gonna go to heaven, though.
No, this body won't.
He's
Yeah.
gonna die anyway.
Well, they can have this body. I want to go there.
That's right. I'm ready for
Whatever
him
he
to come.
wants, I want to go home. But the point of it is, there's a lot of folks out there who truly don't know Jesus as a personal Savior.
That's right.
We're so caught up and stuck in a religion. Well, I'm a Church of God, or I'm a Free Will Baptist, or I'm a Baptist, or I'm a Lutheran. Man, I can't deal with you. And, you know, it's none of that, y'all. It is a personal relationship with Jesus Christ.
Amen.
That's what you got to have. And so many people are, and somebody has deceived the whole world, and by saying that I don't got to go to church, I don't got to do nothing, all I got to do is believe that Jesus Christ died on the cross for my sins, and he rose on the third day. But I'm going to tell you, the Bible says even the demons believe in truth.
That's right.
So there's more to the story than what people are leading up to. Because you find in Revelation in different parts of the Bible where you will be judged according to your works. Everybody believes. I mean, look at all the people that do believe.
Mm-hmm.
You say you love me, but, you know, with your lips, but your heart is far from me. You know how you can prove your love to somebody? When you're in a relationship, your husband has to prove his love to you, all right? I hate to come up and tell you all day I love you, dog. I mean, that's just a word. But it's proof. He got to do things to show that he loves you. And the same with you, with somebody else, with you, with your woman. And, you know, you have to prove it. And with God, it's the same way. You've got to prove that you love him. Y'all eat that right there. That's good.
Jimmy's about to nail it. So.
I'm going to stop right here.
Let's fill the bucket.
I'm going to stop right here, y'all.
Okay, so you stopped it.
Now, it may be a couple months before